Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're conducting Hyliion stock analysis and exactly why this company can succeed in 2022 and beyond. This company has been heavily beaten down over the last 12 months or so since its de-SPACing process, and I'm going to talk about a few things today as to why there is a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel and why there is potentially significant return for investors going forward. Hey guys, welcome into the video. So here we are on Hyliion's page and you're viewing the Hypertruck ERX, which is, let's face it, coming down the pipeline a little bit later than most investors had expected, which is why the share price has stagnated since the start of the year and then coming down from that massive $50 high that happened at the SPAC process. It's left a lot of people holding the bag. So I'm just getting a video out there today just to give a little bit of a warm fuzzy feeling about this company going forward. And as you can see onto the Yahoo Finance page, even in the last 9 or so months or so, it's come down from $18.91 to $6.33. And if you have a look over the last 5 years back to the de-SPACing process, it gets even uglier than that. However, there is significant opportunity here. The market cap is now only $1 billion and it's currently holding over $600 million in cash on hand, ready to commercialise the ERX, and it is going to be reporting revenue very soon. If we pop on to Seeking Alpha, we can see some of the good highlights coming forward. So it is a pre-revenue company, however it is going to be expecting revenue for its hybrid EX units in Q4 2021. So this won't be a lot of revenue, guys, but it is going to be something to actually put on the balance sheet as earnings coming through. The ERX's systems commercialisation has been delayed a little bit, but let's not get too bogged down in that because a lot of companies are suffering delays to their pipelines at the moment. Tesla is suffering this, so is Nikola, so is some of the original OEMs manufacturing their trucks as well. This is not unusual for this sector. They received an order for 300 units of the Hypertruck ERX from Detmar Logistics. Then there's a little caveat there from this person doing the analysis on Seeking Alpha that gas-powered batteries may not become popular due to product complexities. However, I completely disagree with this statement, and the reason I'm going to go there is because if you have a look at the amount of gas generator or gas stations there are across the United States at the moment, it's absolutely massive. Just look at how many of them there are, and if you have a quick look on Hyliion's page, you can see that their system is going to be built in to deal with this and find natural gas fueling stations en route, which is absolutely fantastic. And you can just pick up and they can go battery powered whenever they need to as well, which is really good, really bringing down the emissions for a start. Then if we look straight onto the hydrogen side of things, there's a massive difference. Like, look at the massive decrease in hydrogen stations that are available across the whole of the United States right there. So these companies like Nikola with its hydrogen cells and these other companies going with hydrogen, there is a lot of work to do infrastructure wise to get this going in the right, to get trucking going in the right direction. Whereas if you have a look at the natural gas side of things, the infrastructure is already there. All this needs to happen is this side of things needs to be fitted, and this technology needs to be fitted in trucks, which Hyliion is very capable of supplying and doing to OEM manufacturers. Price targets at the moment sit at a high of $12, so that would be 100% return on your investment, a low of $4.50 and an average of $7.30, so it's just sitting slightly below that at the moment. And this is a very unloved stock on Wall Street right now, that is for absolute certain. There is a lot of short interest in the company. I believe it was sitting, if I can just find it, the short interest was sitting at approximately 20% of the shares outstanding. There we go, sorry, 21 million shares, 18% of the float. So it's very beaten up right now because it is a pre-revenue company, and it gives the short sellers something to get in at because the company's product isn't quite getting to the market yet, but that is 100% coming, that is for sure. As I said earlier, this company is sitting on 289 million in cash and cash equivalents or immediately available, 144 million in short-term investments, 155 in long-term, leaving total liquidity at 588 million. This company is still sitting on an awful lot of cash, and that is why I don't believe that the share price can fall much further, because it really is now only trading at about 2.7 times cash holding per share. So that really isn't a lot for a company that's got the potential that this company has going forward. There is a lot of money to still be invested. It's not costing them an awful lot to keep running, and they have slowed down their process just a little bit because they're waiting on parts, but there is significant orders coming in for the hybrid system, which is going to sort of keep Hyliion ticking over in the meantime. But let's face it, the main event is right here. This is what we're going for, the Hypertruck ERX. Getting this system fitted in OEM trucks is where Hyliion is going to develop the significant revenue it is looking for. But it is good for the company to get the hybrid EX out there as well, because it gives truckers something to go forward. It gives the company gets the company logo out there, and trust can start and relationships can start to be built with the company, which is really good. And lastly, hopping on to Simply Wall Street here, that leads on to the revenue that this company is going to generate, albeit it's not going to be a lot of revenue from these hybrid systems straight away in the last quarter of 2021 and early 2022, but we're really going to start seeing that revenue tick up later on. And as you can see, the forecast annual growth is going to fly up quite significantly, especially in the early stages, and that is because it is starting from nothing, of course, but that revenue is predicted to significantly keep growing and growing and growing over the next few years. Let's face it, this company has been beaten up by Wall Street. It is a very unloved stock, but it has sort of bottomed out right now. If you look back at Tesla's history, I know they're not entirely comparable, but you can see that that company sat at a share price that was very unloved for ages, because nobody knew if electric cars were going to take off the way that they have. Now look at where it is. It is an absolute market darling. Everybody loves it. Everybody's bought into it. I not for one minute am saying that Hyliion is going to become the next Tesla. Far from it. This might not ever make it to being a $1 trillion company. That is completely understandable. But what it certainly could do is become an $80 billion company, or into the triple digits, so over 100 billion. It could easily become that further down the line, depending on how much of a market sector it carves for itself with this system. But if that happens, from this share price now, you are going to get a massive return on your investment at just $6 a share. As long as you're patient and your investing horizon is over a couple of years, not just a couple of months or 6 months or whatever, I am certain, with such a large amount of shares in the company myself, well over 150 now, that this company can give that return on investment. That is why I'm still in it. My actual share price average is actually in double digits, so I'm down at least $4 a share, but I'm still confident in this company going forward, and you should be too, especially if you get in at today's prices. So there we have it, guys. There is a wrap up and a light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully, for Hyliion stock. Share price right now, absolute bargain. As long as you've got a patient and a long investing horizon, and you can allow the supply chain issues to dissipate, and you let the company set up its business, start getting these units delivered to OEMs and start fulfilling the pre-orders that it already has. As soon as this gets out to the other truckers, other companies will come on board, especially when they start generating and showing that owning this truck is cheaper than the diesel alternatives or the electric alternatives, the solid electric alternatives, over the course of the lifetime of the truck. Hopefully that's elaborated on a few things for you today, guys. If you could see your way to smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel, that would be awesome. I'll see you in another episode. Catch you later.